For the first time ever, Starcast goes international. Oceania Pro Wrestling and Visit Victoria present Starcast Down Under, set to take Ballarat, Victoria by storm from April 11th through to April 14th. Bringing the Starcast experience to Australia. And with all the staples of Starcast that have made it a wrestling fan's dream destination. Meet and greets with your favorite wrestling stars of yesterday and today. Live stage shows including a Sunday with Bret Hart, a retrospective on his Hall of Fame career, including a special watch-along celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Hitman's legendary WrestleMania 10 match against his brother Owen. Also including an audience Q&A with the excellence of execution. We'll also have live wrestling shows, in-ring action including Mickie James's all-women's show, Her, and a special supercard, Bret Hart's Australian Stampede. All this along with the photo ops, autographs, merch and memorabilia, making Ballarat the place to be this April. Never before has a weekend like this taken place in Australia until now. Starcast Down Under, presented by Oceania Pro Wrestling and Visit Victoria. Tickets are available now. Visit starcast.com for more information.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, Conrad, what's going on with you, buddy?
Man, I'm excited to be here with you. I know we missed a week last week. We'll talk about all that, but today is our anniversary, man. Can you believe that we started this podcast 7 freaking years ago? Where does the time go?
I was thinking about that last night. I was thinking we're getting close to our anniversary, about the third week in January. And you're right. Where does the time go? And boy, how life changes, right? In 7 years.
It really is pretty remarkable. I mean, as you and I are recording, it was 7 years ago today that we dropped our first episode. And we got a lot of well wishes and a lot of people commenting about some of their favorite moments through the years here on the show. And I want to talk about that. But first, I think we should talk about what in the heck's going on with you, man. You weren't on the show last week. You weren't at AEW last Wednesday. You feeling all right? What's up?
Yeah, I had little eye problems, a little sty in the right eye. Actually, it was more than one. And eye was swollen shut last week. Thought I had conjunctivitis, which meant pink eye and need to stay away from everybody. But I got it on Wednesday. I got a diagnosis that it was a sty. So, yeah, I'm okay. I hate missing TV, and but I was obviously back for Saturday, which I really having a good time on Saturday. So I'll be back this Wednesday, and just a part of being an old fucker, I guess.
Well, we're glad that you're still with us and that you're our old fucker and that you're feeling better. Let's show you some positive stuff. Get your morning started right here. We got lots of positive feedback about our 7-year anniversary, like this one from Matt Smith. Like a few others have said, this show got me through some really tough times by giving me something to laugh at and put the world in the rear view for a few hours. Very thankful that Tony got a second half to his career that pretty much branched off from this show. How about Doug here? Doug writes, I was laid off in fall of 2017. I began listening regularly at that point, and the show really helped me through those dark days. Tony is a key figure in my first wrestling memory. Finding out he's a big nerd like me and a Batman fan was really cool. Thank you for everything, Tony. Really appreciate you and What Happened When. How about this little love affair going on here, man?
It really means a lot. And I've mentioned this so many times, but it's worth mentioning again, that I think sometimes I look at this podcast and I look at my career and I think, what the fuck have I done with my life? Right? Because there are people out there who have literally done important things to help other people, to help animals. I mean, doctors, that really have done a lot for humanity. And I'm thinking, what have I done with purpose? And then I read emails and tweets and texts like that. And I think, we really did serve a purpose, especially during the pandemic. And especially for people who needed a laugh. This podcast began looking back at my career, but then it became more of just two guys watching wrestling and shitting on each other
Yes.
and shitting on what we were watching. So it became more of a comedy podcast, really, or I should say, as much a comedy podcast as it did watching wrestling. And I think it's a tribute to you that you set this up and you wanted to have it. And as you can hear, I can hear myself in delay because we do have a turd that works with us named Dave Silva. Okay. But it's been, it's really been a lot of fun. It has. And sometimes it's hard because of my schedule and what you've got going on to really work this in, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But thank goodness we can do that. And thanks to Dave, obviously, Dave Silva and Derek Sabato for all their work in making this work.
We got some fun other comments that wanted to chime in and celebrate our anniversary. Let's take a look at this one. I'll let you read this one, Tony. This is from JC Malam, okay. I think.
Just anytime Tony gets in a good laughing fit, learning of Klondike Bill, the phone call I received from buying a shirt was an epic moment of nostalgia. I'll echo others in saying this got me through some tough times. The Schiavone wedding was a legit cliffhanger. Slipping in phrases from the podcast into his commentary. Sting, hashtag Sting no jumper.
Here's another one. Andy Listing. He's got a special one for you, Tony. A little well wish on our anniversary.
Mama Schiavone go.
We have said some silly stuff on this program.
Oh God, have we ever? And to the point to where we were the Klondike Bill stories really early on really took off to the point to where I was concerned about sullying the name of Klondike Bill. And so I met his grandson, Christopher, who I've known, and Christopher loves it. I haven't talked to Christopher in a long time. He said, no, it's good stuff. Keep doing it. So there's one. We brought back the name of Tommy Young, for better or worse. So we did a lot of great things in the past couple of years. Really did.
Lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun moments and memories mentioned in the comments. David Watford wrote, way back when we got stories from the original Horseman, when Tony was locked out of the home, like the first time learning about Klondike Bill and his stories, I go way back. Chris Robertson, speaking to Tony on the phone, learning about Tony's real personality, watching him achieve legend status, becoming the GOAT. Let's let you do the one from Hank Lee here. I think you'll like Hank's.
Seeing you live in Charlotte was awesome. I'll never think of Ric Flair and coat hangers the same. The show has changed a lot over the years, but I'm so glad Conrad helped Tony realize how much wrestling fans loved him, and he got to get his flowers with AEW.
About your man Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Oh, Snoop. Yeah.
You take this one, Tony. Just a little news and notes from the last week.
Yeah. Okay. Snoop Dogg reportedly turned down $100 million to pull that thing out. Only fans because his wife said no.
Hypothetically speaking, Tony, inquiring minds want to know, if you were offered $100 million to pull that thing out on OnlyFans, would Lois allow it?
I don't give a shit if she allowed it or not. $100 million, you'd never see my ass again. Well, there she is.
Hey, look at there.
Hey.
It's a rare Lois sighting. Lois in the wild.
Yeah. How about that?
Does she know it's our anniversary?
Lois, you know it's our 7th year anniversary doing this podcast? Bitch. No, thanks, honey. Yeah, fuck you too.
Oh, oh my God. Patrick McGaw says one of his favorite moments. I seem to remember an episode early on where Tony and Conrad took a road trip. That was hilarious. I'm glad somebody
great.
remembers that road trip. I do not.
You don't remember the road trip?
No, I'm just
because
kidding.
you fell asleep during a part of it.
Several times, I think.
Yeah, several times.
Bo Ivy, one of his favorite moments, he says, somebody say something about lasagna.
You know what? Tommy Rich was another one, man. Tommy really came through for us, didn't he?
Oh man, so big. Hey, coming through are some other news I wanted you to bring up, or I wanted to bring to your attention, not just the OnlyFans bit, but it turns out that, we just saw you and Lois, and there's some other marriages and relationships that have been making the news that I thought you might find interesting. So I want you to take a look at this and let me know what you think, Tony.
Woman who married a rag doll admits her family life is complicated after she had twins and saying her husband is stressed about providing for the family. And that's from the Daily Mail.
You see these pictures here?
Sure do.
Could you describe those pictures to people who are listening?
Okay. There is, on the left, there's one fat bitch holding a rag doll. Okay. On the right, there's a rag doll family and a really fat bitch. And then,
what is a ragdoll family, Tony?
Okay. It's a ragdoll husband and 3 ragdoll babies. and here's the deal about the ragdoll. Okay. That's some ugly fucking ragdolls right there.
Really?
But probably better looking than if she really gave birth to real babies.
Oh, wow. That was brutal.
Yeah. Anything will make the news today.
It really will.
Anything at all will make the news because they want you to freaking click. Right? Anything will make the
lots of other fun feedback, and then we'll get into our topic today. We're going to be watching a very special piece of business, one of the more legendary matches in wrestling history. So stay tuned for that. Blaine Shores writes in, I'm just thankful for this podcast. I remember about 9 years ago finding Tony on Twitter. He was working with the Georgia Bulldogs at the time, and I asked him if he ever planned on coming back to wrestling. He said no. Then this podcast happened and completely reinvigorated his passion for the business. Tony Schiavone really is the voice of my childhood. I grew up in the Nitro era, and I never missed an episode. So thank you guys for this podcast, and thank you for bringing back all the memories of an incredible era in wrestling. Kevin Dunlap says, thank you for all the pods. I've been there from the beginning and loved every episode. The Goose Boathouse gimmick and the mystery shitter were my favorite running gags. I don't think it's a mystery. It was definitely Dave Silva, right, Tony?
Yes, it was Dave Silva.
Yeah.
And we should have known. We didn't even need to go into it.
We absolutely should have known.
Yeah. Right.
Simon C has a little note here. I'd like for you to read this one.
Tony is a brilliant announcer, but does Tony think WHW gave him the opportunity to show the world that there is a different side to him rather than the straight-laced play-by-play guy? The funny as hell Tony, and thus I love him all over again. There's no question the podcast gave people a chance to show what I really am.
For better or worse.
Really am. Yeah. Yeah. And of course we went out and did a lot of live shows. That helped that. We had a lot of fun doing those live shows as well. And who knows, maybe in the future when I can hardly put one foot in front of the other, you'll roll me onto the stage and we'll do some live shows again.
I'm looking forward to it. Some other fun memories that I saw here that were mentioned about Rajiv, who wrote in, too many. The first one that comes to mind is when you need to shit and you walk to the bathroom robocopping, trying to hold it in. And the Medusa version of Chattahoochee. So many. I kind of forgot about robocopping, but man,
I did too. Yeah.
Your version of Chattahoochee with Medusa that's up there for me.
Right.
Adam Leeson wants to know, how long did Tony honestly think the pod would last?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I really had no idea. I was hoping it would last long enough to get my daughter married. That was it.
That worked out.
Boy, did it ever, which it did. And that's why this podcast is really so important to me. It really enabled me to do things. And I remember giving up Starbucks because of this podcast. And I'm thinking, man, that moment I remembered, I thought that we're really doing something well. If I can give up Starbucks because the podcast is doing so well, then, and just go with Starbucks, Georgia Bulldogs, and baseball, then my life was pretty good back then. And now look what it's become.
Matt Godfrey says, what happened when? Can we get a Tony Reed's rap for the anniversary episode? Man, I got so many comments about Tony Reed's rap. Can we do one in 2024?
One
for the whole year?
No, we really can't.
Okay. Drew Landry says, I remember when Schiavone could not remember anything. Oh, the best of times.
Who was that again?
You know who that was. It's your boy, Drew Landry. He's bringing all the good questions every week.
Yeah.
Gerald Jackson said he enjoyed the Jelly Donut Stinkface episode. Thomas Adams really enjoyed the glass bottom boat ride stories and the parking lot panties episodes. Jay Historian Ham really enjoyed you reading Slob on My Knob and Chicken Heads. Kevin Jeffrey thought the Klondike Bill stories were the best. And of course, felt like the Barbarian Tommy Young story was a classic. Kareem said his favorite part was Tony Reed's rap, and somehow we introduced him to the song Candy Liquor. Shane Lander says, you guys are very entertaining. This is the greatest podcast in the history of our great sport. Kevin Dunlap says, thank you for the pod. I've been there from the beginning and loved every episode. Man, there's so many fun feedbacks and moments. Oh, wait, here's one. Let's see what old Tony Atlas is up to. I'll let you take this one.
This is at Real Atlas on X. What's Tony doing over there? Okay, I don't even want. Everyone likes to clean their car at car wash, but this is the Tony Atlas shoe wash. White women only. Hashtag shoe addict. Hashtag lick a shoe. While you're at it, step on my face, kick my face, and punch me at the same time. Please and thank you. White women only.
He put this on Twitter, bud. People can see this. What in the world? Right?
No, that's what Twitter has done. Twitter has opened the world to idiots.
Yeah.
Or open idiots to the world. It's good God. I've said this so many times. I don't think Twitter has done much, but what it has done very well is identified the idiots in the world.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. We now know he's an idiot. Not the fact that he has a fetish, but the fact that he would put it out there for everyone to see.
My goodness. I mean, at least, you kept how you got pink eye private. Some things don't need to be on X.
Yeah. I don't put how I'm doing on X. Hey, if I'm dead, you're not going to read about it on X unless some fucking idiot that runs a website puts it on there. And we know there are plenty of those.
Dude, if and when that happens, I'm weekend at Bernie's in your ass, right?
Well, that's good. I'm dead. I don't give a shit what happened. What am I going to do?
You saw what they did with AI on that new WWE video game commercial. Like, I can reanimate your ass. We'll keep this shit going for a long time.
Yep. I'll be around for a long time.
And so will our friends at Manscaped. Boy, that wiener hair, that's not sticking around very long. Cheers. Wiener hair, Tony. Where are you at on wiener hair? You for it, or you prefer less of it?
I'm for it to a certain extent.
Oh yeah. You like to keep it. I was wondering about this. I asked Jeff Jarrett if he had the talk with Cody yet. How old do you think the kids were, the boys that you raised in your household were, before you had to teach them the phrase, pull them tight?
Maybe 14.
Wow. Look at you getting them started at the right age. Pull them tight, boys. Cheers to the new year from our friends at Manscaped, because your resolution shouldn't be the only things that are well kept. 2024 is the time for new heights, new opportunities, and a new look for your Times Square balls. Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on confidence this year. Whether you're looking to maintain or trim or go for that clean shaven look, the trimmer has you covered. Trusted by over 10 million men worldwide. Now is your time to get a grip on your grooming with our exclusive offer. Just head on over to manscaped.com and use our code WHW. You'll get 20% off and free shipping. Happy New Year, or Happy new balls. The MVP of 2024 is Manscaped's 5th generation lawnmower. It's not just a trimmer, it's your grooming sidekick. It's got not one, but 2 skin safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top. That's what Schiavone likes, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. Tony likes it smooth back yonder. I don't know what that means. It's like having a personal stylist at your fingertips, or, well, wherever you need it. Did we mention this dude's waterproof? Because a trim in the shower is the only way to start your day. And how about the rest of the full grooming experience? Well, Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0 has you hooked up. In the grooming kit, not only do you get the lawnmower and the ear and nose hair trimmer, you also get the aftercare products, and this is where Tony really shines. The Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion. Now, before Tony started using this, he did not work in AEW. Now that he's using this, he's on AEW every chance he gets. And the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant can do it for you too. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, is that deodorant for your balls? Yes, it is. And you need it. I know Dave Silva did. He can actually sleep indoors again. And as a gesture for the new year, they're going to hook you up with 2 free gifts, the Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag. Let's do it, boys and girls. Let's get 20% off and free shipping with the code WHW at manscaped.com, because nothing says Happy New Year like a deal that leaves your balls and your budget feeling refreshed. Embrace a new you, embrace a new trimmer, courtesy of Manscaped. So Tony, I thought for our anniversary episode, we shouldn't just have all the fun to ourselves. Greatly appreciate all the positive feedback we got from some of our listeners, like Charlie Thrower, who said he loved your reaction to Elix Skipper being a manager of a Chick-fil-A, and Cassio's version of stroking, and It's a Mini Mall. It's so much silly stuff we did over the years, but some of the most fun we had is when we had a special guest. It's rare that we have a guest here on the show, and it's even more rare that we have a return guest. But I felt it was fitting, considering today's our anniversary, to bring in your friend and mine, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eddie Kingston. Eddie, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. Happy anniversary, Schiavone, you son of a bitch.
Thank you. Thank you very much, you motherfucker.
There we go. Welcome to the show.
There were so many things I was laughing about on this thing, and I kept saying I'm going to bring it up, but I forgot.
There's Eddie.
It's too much stuff. It's too much funny shit you got that you fucking spew out of your mouth. It was finally nice to see Lois in the background.
How about that?
You didn't introduce her to me.
Okay.
When she was in town.
Yeah, I know.
Real low life move, Schiavone.
I know.
Low life move.
Yeah, well, she didn't come to the matches.
I don't blame her. I wouldn't go to the matches if I wasn't getting paid to be there.
My goodness. Eddie, since we've had you on, you're the Triple Crown champ. What's it like? Is it good to be king?
Yeah, I guess until I got to carry the belts in my bag.
Yeah, that probably
to
sucks.
the airport. Then it sucks.
Yeah. So your carry-on weighs 30 pounds more than it used to?
Oh, it's stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start leaving them with the production people. Be like, yeah, this is on you. You lose it, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. And that's one of the things that sometimes we struggle with backstage, because a lot of people do leave their belts with the production people. Get ready to do a pre-tape, and I'll say, "Where's your belt?" They say, "It's in production." I go, "Fuck." I'll call somebody. Can you get the world title belt? Yep. They run to get it. It's not in that room. It's in the other room. It's in we got 2 rooms. We got production and we got social media. It's in the social media room. I'll say, would somebody get Jeff Jones?
I was going to say.
He knows where they are.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he always knows where the belts are.
Yes, he does. Ooh. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it, man.
I love Jeff, but man, he loves those belts.
Oh my God. Doesn't he ever? That's all he talks about.
It's a little scary. I think sometimes he may.
Wow.
To the belts. I don't know.
Wow. Little 5-knuckle shuffle.
I love the guy, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, people that you love, everybody has their fetishes and their weird things. So,
yeah, I'm not yucking his muck. You get off when you get off. You know what I mean? Who am I to judge? I ain't got to see it.
I can't wait till tomorrow when I'm just scrolling through Twitter and I see Sean Ross Sapp tweet out, Eddie Kingston says AEW's Jeff Jones jacks off to belts. Like that's.
Oh yeah. And you know who's gonna click on it? Me. Like, what did I say? There've been so many times the clickbaits. It's like Eddie Kingston buries da, and I click on it, and it's not. I didn't bury anything.
Right.
And I go, oh shit! Thank God. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. I just go off.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have Twitter. That and it's
Yeah.
a fucking disgusting place for disgusting people.
It's a cesspool. It
It
is.
really is. It really is. Really is.
Terrible place. Oh, hold on. Lois is
Whoa,
coming in here.
Lois!
A run in from
Okay.
Lois.
I just heard her cuss at a dog. Okay. Okay. And there's Scout wagging
That's
her
what I
tail.
was gonna
There's,
say, yeah. Scout's the shit.
We've changed. Yeah, we've changed Scout's name to "Goddamn it, Scout,"
Yes.
because that's what we hear her say all the time.
That checks
I
out.
love it. I love it.
Okay. Oh God.
Well, Eddie,
I'm
we
looking
were going to watch some old school WCW, but you actually wanted to call an audible, and I was all for it. We had a blast doing this before. What are we watching today, Eddie?
Kobashi versus Kawada, I think 1998.
Yep.
June, yeah. It's on my screen that Silva sent me saying
Yeah.
I gotta watch this match with you guys. I don't know how this works. But yeah, 6/12/98. Kawada is defending the Triple Crown Championship. Lois, what is up? How you doing? That's right. Fucking Lois, dog. Yeah. Lois is dope.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't hear him?
Kawada versus Kenta Kobashi.
Okay. She said, "Well, I can't hear him," so she's going to. Okay.
Let's go full screen on Schiavone.
Wait,
We got to
let's
see what's
go.
going on here.
She go bust. She go.
Of course.
Okay. She go bust her.
Hi.
Okay. Can you
Hey,
hear?
Lois.
Hey, Eddie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Is
Guess what,
Tony
Eddie?
is Tony treating you well?
No, not at all.
Real son of a bitch. You know what I mean? I got your back. Don't worry about it. When I see him at work, I'll give him a smack for you.
Thank you very much. Thank
Anything
you
for
very
you.
much. Lois
Anything for you.
rules.
Lois
Fucking right you
rules.
do. Fucking right. I got that shirt. I'll wear it
I
again.
know. I saw it, and I've got that picture on my phone.
What? Shivani, how does that
What
make
an
you feel?
honor.
Shivani, how does that make you feel that she has that shirt? No, it's for you, you son of a bitch. I'm asking you the question.
Well, I want her to hear this too. What are we talking about? Okay.
The picture on her phone. How
Okay.
jealous
Of
are you?
Eddie wearing a Lois Rules shirt. It's in her phone.
Oh.
She's got pictures of other men in her phone.
You
On
got
her
pictures of
phone.
other men on your phone?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sam Ewan from Outlander.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you have any pictures of
Couple
men?
sons.
You have any pictures of men's dicks on your phone?
wow.
Oh, for God's sake,
Wow.
no.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot. She has no idea where a men's penis is. Okay.
Hey, ask her if she's ever met Tony Atlas.
You ever met Tony Atlas? No, there's your answer.
No,
Okay.
Well,
no.
hoping I could
One
set
Tony
something
is
up
enough
here.
for me. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Okay, so we got to do this podcast. Go in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, ask her if she would step on your face.
No. Do it, I dare you. I dare you with high heels
Do
on.
it, do
Crush
it.
your balls
Come on.
at the same time.
Would you step on my face with high heels, Lois? Hobnail boots.
Wow. Okay.
Crush my face. Okay.
Hey, don't yuck the muck, man.
Don't knock it till you
Thanks,
try
honey.
it, Tony.
Thanks for coming up and say hello to Eddie. Don't fall, okay?
I'm going to try not
Okay.
I wouldn't do it for anybody but Eddie.
Wow. How about that?
Wow.
Where's
Thank
my
you,
shirt?
what?
I'm gonna-
Okay. There she goes, everybody. Lois Schiavone, 87 years old.
Yeah. What happened when?
I am not.
Okay.
What happened when Lois Schiavone got an OnlyFans? Coming next week here on WHW. Just stepping
Yes.
on Eddie Kingston and Tony Schiavone's face.
And her own boobs.
Wow. Okay.
All right, well, yeah.
Let's watch some Japanese wrestling, Eddie. I'm for it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. When do I hit play?
So yeah, I think what we used to do countdowns, but unfortunately Tony stopped screening them. And one recently he said, never again. So sorry, DJ Turnip. But maybe Tony has a fun way to do a countdown today. As a reminder, This is not on Peacock. This is not on the WWE Network. But the link to where you can watch this on YouTube is in the description for this episode. We've got it fired up on our side, Tony. We're just waiting on your glorious countdown, and then we'll press play.
All right, here it goes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie Kingston covers him. 1, 2, 3, play!
チャレンジャー小橋健太1年5ヶ月ぶりの三冠ダッシュなるか。一方チャンピオンの第18代川田俊明 TWF UN インター。
So there's one of your favorite wrestlers of all time holding the Triple Crown right there. This is your stuff right here all day, is it not, Eddie?
Oh, all day. This is the match I show people when I want them to learn about Old Japan, where they don't need to know like Easter eggs and stuff about a match.
Right.
Right.
You can just enjoy two guys going at it, going to war. Plus, these are my two personal favorites anyway of the four pillars, if you want to say.
Is the reason you went with the black and yellow color scheme, is that a tribute to Kawada?
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to tell him that at Starcast.
Yeah.
Well, first when I met him in Japan, which TVSI, you know, God bless him, did it as a surprise and fucked me up.
That's awesome.
I became a fanboy real quick.
That's awesome.
You can see it on YouTube. You can see me like, hey man, what's up? You know, what's going on? How's everything? Oh my God, what's up? Yeah, it's you. You know, starstruck. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Call me a mark. I'm the biggest mark in the world because I'm in the fucking business. Try to make a living out of it. Anyway, he's awesome.
You know, I think that's one of the things that there are a lot of people that are in the business. I shouldn't say it, but there are a number of people in the business who really do not like wrestling and didn't watch it and are just in it because, well, they're athletic and they wanted to make some money. And there you go.
Well, and I get that and I respect that, but also just respect the fact of the people who were fans and who were dumb enough to try to make a living out of this.
Tony, what do you think about all the photographers and the press and the young boys surrounding the ring? Do you like that look or?
I love it.
I
love it. It makes it look like a big time sporting event, which it is here in Japan.
Yes.
And of course, you know, now with television cameras all around, you kind of, you don't want that. And, you know, back in the WCW days, we did have photographers, not this many, but we did have some photographers around the ring. We allowed,
was that in 92?
Yeah. In the 90s, Bill Apter was always around the ring. There was one Japanese photographer always around the ring. What was his name that you always saw? But there were a couple, and a lot of times we had George Napolitano. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm George. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, George. I'm doing. How you doing? Hey, George. Hey, Tony. Yeah, George. Hey, how you doing? Okay, I walked all the way over here for you to ask me this. I'm doing fine. Hey, George, how you doing? Fine. How you doing? How you doing? That's the only two words I've ever heard George say.
Yeah.
In the 30 years I've known him. Anyway, but he's all the photographers. I love that. But of course, and what we're seeing is more shots from high up than we are camera shots from the ringside. And that's how TV has changed.
Yes.
I mean, if you watch these football games this past weekend, you notice all the close-ups they had on all the players. I mean, right into their grill. They were, when the kid missed the field goal, they had his reaction. They had the facial shots. TV is more into right now. They cover the event, but they cover the event differently than they do back then. So, hey, I like this. Now, Kawada just starts out, man, just right on the mat. I love starting out on the mat. I love how matches will start on the mat and then progress and get more violent.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be, right?
Right.
Or that's the way I feel it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I do too, because it's a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And then your tempers flare or your emotions get the best of you, and then you start fighting. That's the way it should be too. Yeah. I agree
Also,
with that.
you know, it shows that you can wrestle.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It doesn't take a lot when I talk to guys about it. Just a little bit before you get into your stuff that I can't do. That's why I don't knock it. God bless him.
Right.
I can't throw a super kick. So guess what? If you can throw a super kick, that's dope to me. I can't do it. My
Right.
hips will explode.
I've
Well,
always
Eddie, you don't need to.
right.
You know.
It doesn't mean I didn't want to. I didn't
Right.
want to be cool.
But here's the deal, and tell me if I'm wrong. If everybody throws a super kick means nothing.
Yeah, no, it means nothing.
Right.
Really doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, we used to, a DDT used to be a pretty badass move, but if everybody does it as a high spot, what does it mean anymore?
Yeah.
So I get that. What are these dogs doing?
They're watching the match now. They're ready to go. They're going to wrestle now.
Going to knock over some shit here.
Hey, call him by the name. God damn it, Scout.
God damn it, Scout.
God damn it, Scout shirts available now at lowestrills.com. Hey, Eddie, whenever I see a match start out like this with a slower pace, it reminds me of like the first round of like a heavyweight fight. They're trying to get a feel for each other, establish the distance, feel each other out, and then the pace really picks up later. I think this match is probably structured similarly. Would you agree?
Yeah, without a doubt. Usually, you know what I mean? When you want to make it look like a sport, which it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just like any other like boxing or MMA or Muay Thai, whatever, any other combat sport. In the beginning, they're not just throwing haymakers right off the bat, you know, a lot of time. You know what I mean? And they're throwing their jab or whatever. Same thing with pro wrestling. We're just feeling each other out on the mat, trying to figure what works, trying to go with our game plan. You know what I mean? Like for me, my game plan is pretty simple. I'm trying to get to your neck because all my moves involve your neck. Or, you know, when I lose my temper, I'm going to start smacking you and chopping you.
Eddie losing his temper. Come on.
Imagine that.
That doesn't happen. I've never seen that happen.
Yeah, never, right, Schiavone?
Yeah,
you never seen me in an office sweating?
No, you're the calmest person I've ever seen.
Sweating, going, hey, this will help. Trust me. Anyway. No, not at all. Sometimes, yeah. If it wasn't for Schiavone, there'd be many a times I would get into real big trouble. You can't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Say it this way. I know you're trying to help.
Yeah. Wednesdays and Saturdays can be a very emotional day.
It's draining because, you know, here's the thing. Trying to say it correctly as Kobashi wrenches the headlock.
Okay.
So many of us at AEW, the boys, and but everybody, right? Let's just say it. Everybody cares so much about the company. It's unbelievable. I've never seen that many people. Here we go with the chops. Love so many people. Love one place so much that our passion for AEW and wanting it to succeed and get better every time sometimes overtakes us emotionally.
Yeah.
You know, and
right.
I'm just happy people understand with me it's coming from a good place, not from an evil place.
Yeah. I get that.
And that's why when people ask me about our owner tweeting, I go, look, number one, that's his business. I don't give a fuck. It's not me. Number two, he's doing it for his team. He's passionate about his team. I can't knock him for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
he loves AEW the way I love the Yankees. You know what I mean?
Right. And yes, and the way we hate the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, how about Dak choking.
Oh,
anyway, by the way, the Bills game, I'm in a group text, right?
Right.
And one of the members of this group text is Taz. And he's a Bills fan.
I know that. Yeah.
And I tell you, this past Sunday was not. All I could do was LOL. I couldn't say anything else. Whatever I said, I could have complimented him. I was the biggest piece of shit he's ever met in his life.
Can you imagine?
I tried to tell him, Josh Allen shouldn't have thrown, on that third down, should have just threw it to the tight end. He was open, get closer for the field goal. right away. Oh, what do you fucking know? Okay. Okay. And then when he missed it, the group text was silent.
Yeah.
Silent. Because no one knew what to do.
Right.
Hey, in the midst of all this, Kawada threw a hell of a kick. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that was his trademark. Actually, Kawada did everything. And when I got to interview him, he said he wanted to be known for all the strikes.
Right.
You know, chopping, forearms, kicks. As Kobashi is known for the, look at that. Oh, so nice. Kobashi is known for chops. Misawa is known for elbows. Taue is known for that big Baba chop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's their signature strike.
Right.
And Kawada wanted to be all of them.
So, Eddie, now in All Japan Pro Wrestling at this time, these were the two biggest stars?
Oh, no, Misawa was still there. They still had the pillars. Misawa was still considered the ace.
Okay.
But he just lost the championship to Kawada in May in the first Tokyo Dome show for All Japan.
Okay.
And it was the first time Kawada ever beat Misawa, I think in 7 tries for the Triple Crown. Finally beat him in the Tokyo Dome main event. And this is his first title defense against Kobashi of the Triple Crown.
Just love the last match we watched and the one we're watching here. I just love how, again, Conrad, you talked about the photographers, but just the way they are approaching the match.
Yes.
It's just a big time athletic event. I mean,
the big fight feel is real. Yeah.
Big fight.
It's a fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what caught me when I first saw
my goodness.
Yeah, great kick. First saw All Japan. And the funny thing is, the first match I saw ever of All Japan was Kawada versus Kobashi in 1995, and they went 60 minutes.
Oh.
And it didn't feel like I was watching a 60-minute match.
Right.
Where did you get your tapes, and about what year did you start to discover those tapes?
I got my tapes from everywhere. You know what I mean? Anywhere on the internet that sold them. And I found a couple people, and I had a couple friends actually in New York who tape traded. And I started about late 95, early 96. I started, seeing the whole different world of wrestling. And yeah, man, it was because of ECW.
Oh, wow.
That all happened. Because I got into ECW because of a friend told me, hey, you like wrestling? And at the time, I was a big Bret Hart guy. And, Bret was, I think, losing or lost or something, one of the two. And I was like, yeah, I'm not watching anymore. It's getting too cartoonish or whatever. And he put it on ECW. I was about 12, 13, 14. And at that age, every boy wants violence and whatever gets them going. You know what I mean? And ECW had that in spades. And guys like Raven, I grew up around guys like Raven. Dreamer being from Yonkers. I know guys like Dreamer. I know guys like New Jack. Everything just spoke to me as a teenage kid. Found that, and then because of that, I found RF Video. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I know it's live, but whatever.
We are.
And RF Video, I remember buying a Best of Japan 1995. And I only got it because I knew of Chono and Muda from WCW.
Okay.
I didn't know anybody else, so I just bought it because of that. And then that's when I saw Kawada and Kobashi go 60 in Osaka, and I went, who's the guy in the yellow? Who's the guy in the orange? I had to go back to their website, and I had it all lined up, and that was it. That was the beginning of my love affair with All Japan Pro Wrestling. I went back, studied stuff, found out about Ricky Dozan, him training Inoki and Baba and all that stuff.
I think it's interesting that, where Vince made a living with these over-the-top personas and characters, like The Undertaker or even the visual of a Yokozuna or whatever. In All Japan, it just came down to a color scheme. Hey, this is the black and yellow guy. This is the green and white guy. This is the orange guy. There was consistency there from a branding standpoint. I know those are buzzwords people weren't using back then, but it was easy to identify Okay, yeah, the orange guy, that's Kobashi. The black and yellow guy, that's Kawada. Like you knew, even if you didn't really speak Japanese, you could still keep up and follow it. And fighting is a universal language.
Yeah, no, I tell everybody I'm not in the pro wrestling business. I'm in the emotion business. That's
Yeah.
our jobs. You know what I mean? And that's what they did. They brought out the emotion of their fans every time. I'll never forget watching a tag match, one of the great tag matches with Kawada and Taue against Kobashi and Masawa. I think that was in '95 as well. And Kobashi covering Masawa while Masawa's getting stomped by Taue and Kawada, and hearing women scream as Kobashi's getting beat up, saving his friend. It was just, that's emotion.
This match that we're watching, do you know what building this is in? Do you recognize that one?
I think it's Budokan.
Yeah.
Most of their big main events were in Budokan. That's why, you know what I mean? When I did the G1, how crazy is that for me to say that in a sentence?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking insane. When I did the G1, everybody was asking me about, you want to do the Tokyo Dome? Yeah, of course. And I love doing Sumo Hall, but I kept telling the guys too, if I get to do Budokan, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll retire right after. There's nothing going to be higher than that. You know what I mean? So Budokan is where All Japan had a lot of their main events, sold it out. It was their home. Budokan was All Japan's home, and New Japan's home was Sumo Hall.
Eddie, when you think about your career and you think about when you started just trading tapes and learning about wrestling in Japan, and you think about wrestling at G1, it's like, right?
Yeah, it doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, how did it happen sometimes?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then there's days, legit, people think I'm nuts, but there's days where I'm like, this can't be real. I'm going to fall asleep. And I'm going to wake up at 19 again.
Yeah.
Waking up at 5 a.m. to do my ironworking job.
Yeah.
And hopefully getting out in time so I can take a bus to Pennsylvania and start training.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like that too. Some days I close my eyes and I'm thinking, oh, it's 1980 again and I'll not get married.
I was waiting. And that clothesline, like I tell people, this match, you don't need to know the Easter eggs, but that clothesline that Kobashi just did is a tribute to Giant Baba. It was Giant Baba's finisher back in the day.
Wow.
The neck drop clothesline.
Yeah. Just, no, here's one of the things that makes this match so great. And I know there's selling involved. I get that, but it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're just so good at what they do. Hey, I'm like, we're watching a real fight.
Yes.
Look, here comes your half and half. Boom.
Yeah. This was also the era of, some people call it the head drop era, because they had to up the ante on the moves. Because they've wrestled each other so many times. Right. All four guys. And then when Akiyama came in, they had to up the ante. And now knowing what we know, what happened to a lot of these guys, like even Kawada said to me, he goes, if you want to do our style, you'll have a short career.
Wow.
And I told him, yeah, man, let's do it. I was like, yeah, okay. I know the price, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a rough wear and tear on your body, and they did it all for the sport and for their company.
Eddie, have you ever heard that the fact that Japanese people have more neck injuries than any other people?
Is that for real?
Like outside of wrestling too, you're saying, Tony?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Here comes the tiger.
Okay, it may have changed, but in 1995, when I had my neck surgery, my surgeon, who was at that time one of the top surgeons in Atlanta, said that all the surgeons, the top surgeons, go to Japan and study. And I said, why is that? He said, because Japanese people have predominantly a smaller sack of spinal fluid around their spine.
Oh, wow.
And they have more neck injuries in Japan than any place else in the world.
I didn't know that.
Well, you can fool me with these guys going at it.
I know. But maybe that's, and again, I guess everybody gets dropped on their neck or their head. They're going to have a short career, but wow, look at that. Great timing.
Yeah, it's part of the deal. You kind of know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
When I hear guys, like I'll bitch and moan about certain aches and pains, but I do that because I'm a miserable prick anyway.
Right.
But I always say at the end of it, I still love this. I chose it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This did not choose me. I chose this. I chose to be the professional wrestler.
Right.
And I chose to mix Memphis with this style because those are the two things that I like the most growing up.
This match we're watching, of course, is under an All Japan banner. There's a lot of our listeners who really just grew up watching WWF and WCW. Can you explain briefly, Eddie, the difference between All Japan and New Japan and why All Japan was so hot in this era?
Real simple. All Japan was basically old school NWA type style of wrestling. And then it, moved on to, like you said, the beginning of the match would be the old school NWA, Terry Funk, Harley Race kind of style of wrestling. And then it became into what we see right now. New Japan was more shoot based, more submissions, more realistic, shorter matches. You know what I mean? Finishes were very, abrupt sometimes because of the shoot style that they were trying to incorporate. Because like Inoki believed, and I said it in a couple of interviews that I've done, that Inoki wanted to prove that pro wrestling is a mixed martial art. He was saying that even then before it got huge as it is now. And he wanted to show that his wrestlers were the strongest, as he would say. To the point where there was I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but to the point to where Baba said no submissions in his matches because he wants his wrestlers to be stronger than New Japan wrestlers because New Japan wrestlers they had submission finishes. So the major difference was that All Japan King's Road style, if you want to call it that, is that it was more NWA based, a little more storytelling, but New Japan was more mixed martial artist based, submission based, and they were both hot at this point.
Right.
All Japan was hot, but I like to tell people they were hot in Tokyo. A lot of their house shows wouldn't do that great. You know what I mean? In smaller markets.
Right.
And when you look at like the financials, if you want to get down to it, New Japan was making more money at the time. But the wrestling matches were getting, the All Japan wrestling matches were getting all the hype and all the praise.
The critical acclaim was for All Japan. Yeah.
And those were the matches that we were hearing about over here as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you have to see this, you have to see that. Meltzer said that Meltzer gets a lot of heat. I get it. I understand why. But when you're growing up trying to find out about wrestling, he's the best source for you.
Especially in Japan, because you and I who don't speak Japanese, we don't know what the shit. But if he says, hey man, you're going to love this. Well, okay, let's go find it. And I did. And just like you, I think. And I've always found it interesting, that the All Japan style is called King's Road and the New Japan style, I guess, is called Strong Style. But I never really thought about comparing the way WWF versus NWA wrestling was, in the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
Yes, technically it's the same thing, but it was a different presentation. It was a different style. So it's interesting to think that existed here in Japan as well.
Yeah, especially like you said, especially around this time period. Well, this was 98, but before that, this was like Attitude Era time. But before that, it was more cartoonish, more entertainment, more for little kids. When I was growing up, the WWF was. NWA was, I used to think it was real when we got it on illegal cable.
Yeah.
I thought it was real because there was blood. You know, Dusty and Flair were bleeding.
Right.
Midnight Express would really it looked like they were beating the piss out of Rock and Roll Express. Everything seemed more realistic. So I used to think as a kid, oh, NWA was real, or realer than WWF.
Right.
But it was the same thing with New Japan and All Japan. They both had the realism, but for instance, New Japan had big stages.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. All Japan kept it so basic and so old school. They were just coming out of the locker room.
Right.
No entranceway, nothing like that, just coming straight out.
Nothing wrong with making it different, right, for the fans.
No, yeah, made it different. Right. There was, there's been a couple of books out there written about this time period in Japan, and a lot of video essays done by Joseph Montesilio and Kim Justice on YouTube about All Japan, which I share with all the guys in the locker room. They'd be like, "This is why I love it." Look, but All Japan had such an old school way, even in business, that it was hard for them to make money.
During the course of us talking here, Kobachi's been dropped on his head a number of times. I mean, right on his head.
Yeah. Like I said, this was the head drop era. When I first started watching this and trying to implement it into my game, I thought that's what it was all about. But then, as you get older and more years in the business and more, time in the ring, you start learning that that's not what it was just all about. Right. This style encompassed everything about pro wrestling, not just that era of it.
I'm looking at this right now. I'm thinking he's not going to get dropped on his head again, is he? But it looks like he's going to fight this one off. Okay, so fan response is obviously a lot different.
Yes.
In Japan than it is in the United States.
I gotta disagree a little bit on that. I've a lot of people say, oh, they're quiet. No, they cheer like it's a baseball, football game.
Right.
They cheer their favorites on. Maybe it won't be as loud or as consistent as an American crowd, but they're there, man. If they love you or like you, they're there. One of my highlights of my time during the G1, still weird to say every time I say it, there was one little kid screaming at top of his lungs. It was my match, I think, against Evil. And I couldn't, I didn't understand it, of course, but this one little kid just kept screaming his head off to the point where Kevin Kelly was on commentary and asked one of the young lions, Oscar, what up, Oscar? Big shout out to my man. Asking him, what is that kid saying? And then I found out later was the kid kept screaming, Eddie, try your best. Eddie, do your best. And he just kept screaming it, top of his lungs.
Wow.
So they're there for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just got to reach them.
And I agree with all that. It's just what I was getting at was not as animated as the fans in the United States. And of course, with the television era now, there are a lot of fans who just want to be seen on TV more than they want to even go to the matches.
Yeah, I blame ECW for that. Even though I love ECW, I blame them for that.
Yeah.
Because they had Hat Guy and all these other guys in the front row, Sign Guy, and they became characters too, of the show.
Right. Just like everybody in pro football now cheers every time they get a sack. Thanks, Mark Gastineau, for all of that.
Or they show Taylor Swift.
Yes, they do. I was gonna say they show Taylor every time now.
I get it, but
I don't get it.
Let's slow it down a little bit here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I go the other way with it. I wish, like when we were watching, somebody besides the Chiefs play, like when the Lions play the 49ers, let's do a cutaway to wherever the fuck Taylor Swift is, see what she's up to in that very moment.
See if she's watching the game.
Yeah.
If that would happen, Lois would throw a chair through the not
she's not a Swiftie. No.
We're watching that game, and I said, they're going to show Taylor after the touchdown. She said, they better not. They have no reason to show her. Okay.
Here it comes.
Here and there it was.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, I'm a little jealous of Kelsey only for one reason. We couldn't get Wardlow to date Taylor Swift
Come on.
and help us out.
That'd have been awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's right. I'll pimp Wardlow out to help us get see, there's your passion.
Right.
There's your for the company.
There are
That's
worse
right.
things to be destined to do than dating a billionaire. So
Yeah.
wish that on Wardlow all you want. I think it's just fine.
Yeah, just help us out. Bring the people, bring the Swifties to AEW.
Oh man, it's quite oh man, that just take that power bomb and then wrench your neck.
I love showing these matches to Schiavone because you came up to me after we did the other one where I kept freezing in and out. Thanks to my lady, I'm not doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
But you came up and you were like, Kobashi this, Kobashi that. And I was like, see, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's from everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to share my love for this with people so they understand why I do what I do or stuff like that. Like I'll tell guys, watch the concession stand brawl and be like, I watched this when I was like 6.
Right.
And then you'll understand why I love that style. Well, I'll tell guys to watch old ECW stuff or explain stories or angles of ECW. Look at that. And, just because like that influenced me.
Right.
Or of course, you know me, I always tell them about Terry Funk and how Funk made people cry in Japan when his ear was bleeding, I think against Hanson or Brody. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Right. Man.
Look at the people in the background.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
getting into it now, boy.
Yeah, they're really getting into it. And of course, the
There's my
match has
man.
been set up that way. You know?
Yep.
Boy, Kawada can really jump, man. He's got some great
Yeah.
leg strikes. Wow.
Yeah.
I love this shot. I know you and I've talked about this before, Conrad.
I love it.
That corner ring overhead shot, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used it for Fire Pro, the video game.
Man, that's old school right there. What a great game that
Yeah, it
was.
is. Yeah. Yeah, I remember getting that illegally a couple times.
You know what's crazy to think?
Same thing with
Kawada's
Right.
only 60
My
years
fault.
old right now.
yeah.
That's
60?
wild. Yeah.
Ah, what an old.
How great
fuck.
was it to have him at Starcast?
Oh, it's unbelievable, dude. I was just thinking about that. We were lucky enough to have Kobashi at Starcast 2 in Las Vegas. Then our most recent one in Chicago, we had Kawada. Like, those guys don't make US appearances. It was such a cool thing to be able to have real wrestling legends. And I know that, a lot of the people who come to our cons and stuff are just big AEW fans or big Attitude Era fans. And I get that, but if you know, and having wrestling royalty at an event like that was really awesome.
Well, now
and he was surprised. He told
was?
me about his line.
Yeah.
surprised.
Kawada said he was very surprised about how big his line was. I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
You're Kawada, man.
What are you talking about? Yeah, you know who the fuck you are.
Yes.
You go to AEW events like we've got Suzuki tonight as this is dropping, and of course,
Yeah, I know that because you guys start screaming that it's Edge and Suzuki in the middle of my fucking match with Brian and Claudio. Thanks.
yeah, you're welcome. If Tony tells you something in your ear, fuck you, Eddie. I'm going to say what he tells me. Okay.
Can we just get a segment where maybe Lexi goes, hey, this is your dynamite report? Can we get that instead of doing it in the middle of a fucking match?
So anyway, I was going to say that.
Oh, man, that just made my fucking day.
So we're going to say, where am I? Okay.
Exactly.
Where am
Well
I?
disheveled. You like that word?
When wrestlers from Japan make an appearance and their music hits and they walk down, they get a big pop in AEW.
Yes.
They do. It's not like they don't know them. I mean, it's obvious that fans know these Japanese wrestlers. Of course, obviously the internet had everything to do with that.
Oh yeah,
But they're very well recognized.
especially Suzuki. That's my boy. Even though he tells everyone I like to beat Eddie up.
I think he likes to beat everybody up. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I just remember him telling certain people, no. I like to beat up Eddie. And I went, well, yeah, of course. I get it. You're not the first person, you're not the last to say that.
Eddie, the next time you wrestle on Collision, if I'm not talking about your match, I'm talking about something else, remember it's because of this moment right here. Set it up now.
Yeah, whatever. It's gonna happen. I'm still gonna be in the ring fighting anyway. It don't matter. I'm not fucking hearing you. That's the way I look at it. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to win the match. I don't give a fuck what's going on in commentary. No offense. You know what I mean? You guys do your job. I'm going to do mine. That's it. I'm thinking about, what am I going to think about? What Schiavone's saying about me beating the shit out of Jericho about? No. Boom. There's the lariat.
God almighty.
There it is.
Yes.
And there it is. Yeah. So like I said, I show people this match because you don't need to know the Easter eggs. You just seeing two men going in there fighting for a championship. You know what I mean? And even though this was Kawada's first defense of the championship, he lost it to Kobashi. And the rumors over the years was that Kawada had an interview with a magazine and said that he wished All Japan worked with more outside promotions. And Baba didn't like that he spoke against the company. So he said, okay.
Wow.
You and Kobashi are going to have this match now. That's the rumor. I don't know how true that is. You know what I mean? But, that was just the case back then. You never talked against the company.
Right.
Well,
it's probably something that should be adhered to today.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying a fucking word.
Okay.
I am not getting, nope. No. Yeah. See, now you're going to get me going, right?
No. I think a lot of that's just being an idiot unintentional.
No, here's honest opinion, straight up, as mature as I can be, opinion. Okay. So many guys believe and when I say guys, I also mean the women as well.
Yeah.
A lot of them believe in their ability. And a lot of them believe so hard that they can do great things for AEW.
Right.
That again, it comes out at the wrong times.
Right.
Or their frustrations come out at the wrong time.
Yep.
It's just that now we have a platform where people think their opinions fucking matter.
Yep.
I grew up where your opinion didn't matter at all. You know what I mean? But it does catch sometimes buzz and the clickbait and all that stuff. So that's why I think it's easier to go on Twitter and do your displeasure. But at the end of the day, I believe all you're doing is just my opinion. All you're doing is hurting yourself because now you're coming off, different or in a bad light. And then B, you're hurting a company. My man, I broke in when there was one company in America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that again. I had to travel the roads like everyone else did, but a lot of the youngins don't need to right now, and good for them. I'm not hating on that, but good for them. Thank God they can do that, where they don't have to travel 15, 16 hours and get $20. You know what I mean? And 20 was big for me at one point in time.
Yeah.
And the only way we could make a name for ourselves was you get somebody who puts in a word for you to go over to the UK or go over to Germany. At the time, WXW was real huge for American independent guys to get over there. Good money, good wrestlers and stuff like that. And you had to have an in, try to get to Japan to make money. So, you know what I mean? And then, Ring of Honor was huge at the time too. Once you got into Ring of Honor, you can jack up your price a little bit.
Wow.
But I did, I don't want to go back to that. You know what I mean? I want more companies to open. I want more places to get TV. more competition. Fuck it. I don't want no one closing.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I tell people how much I love AEW and WWE sucks, I do that like I do it for the Yankees. Yankees could be in last place and the Red Sox in first place. I'm going to tell everyone Red Sox still suck.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing with AEW and everybody else. But I don't want nowhere to close because I have very few friends. Some of them are in WWE and some of them are in TNA. And they have families that they have to feed. And I want them to feed their families. So why wouldn't I want more companies around?
Yeah.
I think people just go too far, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. When you wish for a company to close, it's because one, you're not working you're not working for anything.
Right.
Where you need to do that. You're probably, and I'm not saying this to be like, oh, internet trolls. No, you're probably still living at home, so you don't have to worry about money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you don't have a wife and kid. It's either that or the second thing, which I think a lot of it is that you're just a disgusting person.
Wow.
That's it. You know what I mean? If you can't take a man's job with your own hands, then shut up.
I agree with everything you're saying, Eddie.
That's
Absolutely.
the way I was raised. No,
Right.
But everyone's different. But I don't want nowhere to close, man. I want AEW to be number one, which I think it is. I don't care what anyone says. You know? But doesn't mean I want places to close.
Right.
I just think it's dumb. That's it. Rant over as I take a sip of my watermelon monster, the best monster that there is there, Schiavone.
No, not even close. Hey, so I was
Son of a bitch.
so I was interested to see that Kobashi did the interview in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Compare that if we would have rolled into the ring and done an interview with Eddie. Eddie would say, "Hey, okay, I'm in the ring. I'm doing my stuff. Topher, am I done now? I got to go."
Well, everyone knows it's a TV show.
I know. Just,
you know what I mean? Let's all stop with the bullshit that it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That everybody's trying to be fucking Martin Scorsese all of a sudden in wrestling. I got these dudes holding the camera going, go here, go there, the lighting, this and that. And I'm like, dog, I gotta stretch. I gotta get ready for the match. I don't give a shit about the lighting. I don't care if the microphone's in the shot. People know it's a TV show. Suck it up and let's go. I know you're doing your job, but I need to get ready to do mine. Let's make this quick. You know what I mean? I don't need fucking it raining on me or whatever the fuck artistic bullshit you got. Just shoot the shit, put it out there. It's pro wrestling, folks.
One of my favorite parts of my job is on Wednesdays or Saturdays trying to run Eddie Kingston down to get to do an interview. One of my favorite parts.
Sounds like a full-time job.
It's enjoyable. It really is.
The last one we had to do, I kept going, where the fuck we had. I'm not burying her.
No, and I remember being told that we don't know where that pre-tape's going to go in the show, so they need to be in their gear. And I told Clark is one of our real big guys. I said, I think
you told Clark.
I said, you tell Eddie. I don't want to tell him he's got to be in his gear.
I said, what the fuck?
I told Ortiz, said, you got to be in the gear. He went, okay. I said,
yeah,
Clark, you tell Eddie because I'm not telling him.
Yeah, because you knew what I was going to say, which I always say, what the fuck is 6 hours before the show?
Yeah, right.
I got to get all this shit on and then take it back off? You're out of your fucking mind. Just shoot it regular. People know what's up. They're not stupid. One time, Clark was like, I don't think you can wear that Knicks hoodie. I said, too bad, I'm wearing it. Let's go. Shoot the shit.
Oh, God.
I haven't gotten in trouble yet. Let's go. They're like, all right, fuck it, fine.
Eddie, you make life fun, buddy.
Well, let me say this.
I just want to get my job done. That's it. I just want to get my job done.
Let me do my job right fast to tell Eddie where he can get some more Knicks gear. It's with shopsportsmerch.com. We've got a brand new affiliate partnership. You can shop for all of your favorite officially licensed fan gear, whether you're looking for the NBA or basketball or football or college. They got everything. It's the Fanatic shop, except this way you help support your favorite podcast, WHW, at shopsportsmerch.com. That's shopsportsmerch.com. Or if you're watching along with us on YouTube, just hit that QR code that's up on the screen right now. or check out the link in the description for today's episode. But now you can shop with confidence for your favorite jerseys, caps, shirts, jackets, hoodies, and more, all at shopsportsmerch.com. So, Eddie, what's next for you, man? Besides trying to chop the shit out of Schiavone on camera one day.
Oh no, that's gonna happen. I think so. We're shooting this. What? Yeah, we're shooting this a day before whatever fucking Dynamite.
Yep.
It's in Savannah. As you hear my laundry machine go off. It's the life, folks. Real glamorous.
It is.
I'm gonna drive up to Savannah. Get there, see what I'm doing on Dynamite. Hopefully, it's fighting somebody for the Continental Crown.
Wait.
My job.
Did you say drive
Going
up
home.
to Savannah?
Yeah. It's a 3-4 hour drive. Not bad.
Oh, so you're in Jacksonville now?
No. I'm in Orlando.
Oh, I got you. I just thought for some reason I thought you were still in the Northeast, and I was like, wait, what do you mean drive up?
It's just the attitude. That's what it is. I can't. That's all it is. You know what I mean? I can't go back. I wish I could. You know what I mean? What I'm paying for a house here is what I would pay for rent in a 1-studio apartment. New York's too expensive.
Right.
I love New York, but fuck, it's so expensive. And I would just go back to Yonkers or the Bronx, and the Bronx is definitely not safe anymore, I heard. So, I got to be mature and look out for myself now.
Schiavone, can you imagine Eddie Kingston going to Disney World with those fucking gimmick ears on? I just can't see it.
Well, I got a story about that.
Okay.
So I went there with an ex of mine.
All right.
Who loved fucking Disney. God bless her. Good for her. I get it. It's cute. But we're walking through the Disney place. I see Winnie the Pooh. I say, okay, I'll take a picture with him. I sometimes sleep like Winnie the Pooh.
We all do.
Just a top, no pants. I respect him. We take the picture, and I'm like, all right, now we can leave. We did everything. I got Winnie the Pooh, and so I'm all about it. We're walking through some street there, whatever. It starts pouring rain. It's Florida, of course. It'll pour in rain for like 2-3 hours. The ex-girlfriend runs into the shop. I'm standing in the middle of the street because now my back is killing me from walking all day. You know what I mean? Now I'm really old. It was my sciatica, out of all things. So I'm in pain. I look up to the sky and scream, fuck, as loud as I could in the middle of some Disney road. And little kids were scared. And then the ex-girlfriend was like, are you going to come here? Yeah, I am. Now. I just had to get it out of my system. So yeah, not a big fan of Disney, all that walking and shit.
I don't know.
You go once, you see it all. Like, I don't get it. Why are you going to go multiple times? I don't understand.
And Eddie, you are in Orlando, so means you're flying out of that fucked up airport.
Oh, the worst.
The worst.
My God. So why the fuck do I pay for Clear?
It's a waste of time.
Someone explain that to me.
Yeah.
Because we're on this fucking line, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm paying for this thing that's supposed to help me get on faster. Why am I still on a line for 30 minutes?
Yeah. You're same thing in Atlanta.
I almost got in trouble last time flying because we're on the Clear line. Some dude got the guy in front of me. He gets asked, hey, you got Clear? Now, remind you, been on this line for about 15 minutes. Guy goes, oh, no, I don't have Clear. The guy goes, oh, it's okay. I'll sign you up. I went, oh, what the fuck? Real loud. I said, I got Clear. Put me in first. You can get him later. I was told, please, sir, calm down. I said, motherfucker. Okay. I said, all right. I understand you get paid on commission maybe or something. I don't know. But do that shit when there's not a long line.
Yeah.
And they carry in those fucking belts every time through the machine. Every time. Oh, we got to check your bag. They're belts. They're wrestling belts. Oh, wrestling belts. What kind of wrestling? I'm like, you already know what kind. Yes, like Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I hear it all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Give me the fucking bag. I got to get to my gate. I hate flying anyway. I got to pop the Zanny to fucking fly. So let's hurry it up. You know what I mean? Let's fucking go. I get it. You know what I mean? You do it. Your job is not to talk to me. Your job is to look at the fucking thing, go, all right, it's not a danger, let's go. I don't need to have a conversation with you. I got to talk to a bunch of people at work. A lot of them I don't like, but I got to talk to them and be a pro. So I don't feel like talking to you right now. Let's hurry it up. In and out. That's all.
Eddie Kingston, everybody. Eddie Kingston.
That's all I'm saying. Oh, you're kicking me off? We're not staying for the whole 7th?
No. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Stream of consciousness, Eddie Kingston is what's best for business. Like, I did not expect to sit down and watch a Kawada Kobashi match, and you hit us with Winnie the Pooh. I respect him. What the fuck? Wow.
Bro, it gets hot down there. You know, like, come on, let's not play around here. Like, you're not working with, the same equipment.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I'm
maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little smaller. I don't need to know. You don't need to know. We're good. You know what I mean? As long as it works, you're good. And it gets hot. And my lady, who's from Australia, likes the fucking house to be 80 degrees. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, yeah, I Winnie the Pooh it, put the fan on. Legs wide open, spread eagle, trying to make sure, it don't get too swampy.
Air it out. Air it out. Man, you're doing
like New Jersey. It doesn't get like a swamp like New Jersey, Schiavone.
I just want to add something here if I can. Your lady is like MVP in 2 places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in your house and in AEW.
Oh, yeah. I get it. Yeah. Putting up with me, God bless her. There's days I look at her and I go, I don't fucking get it, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm a fucking nut job. Thank you. It's okay, mate. I love you, mate. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I get it. Love you too.
Well,
I'm a fucking nut
job. And then she has to deal with fucking Jeff Jones at work. God bless her.
See, there you go.
You know what I mean? Schiavone walks in. Conrad Schiavone walks in one time and said something to my lady like, oh, you're doing Jeff's job, I guess. Taking over Jeff's job. Jeff did not like that as he held 15 championship belts in his lap.
Man, you're doing all my heavy lifting.
Taz yelling and screaming in the background. Me yelling and screaming, saying, just shoot the shit live.
It's a carnival, man.
A day in the life.
Yeah.
My favorite part is this. Some of the newer people go, hey, you know what you're doing today? I just start laughing. I go, is it 7:30 yet? No. Then I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're collecting a paycheck. Just be patient.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of them where I go, shut the fuck up. You're 20-something. Shut up. Shut up. Wait. Shut up and eat the free catering.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Hey, you're getting fed. It's your only day you have to work this week. Sit down and shut the fuck up, okay?
It's insane. When they get mad, it makes me, I used to get mad. Now I just laugh.
Yeah.
I go, oh, shit. You're one of those? That's what I tell them. When one of the young guys come up and start saying shit, I go, oh, you're one of those. Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. I ain't going to fuck with you now. Get away from me.
Yeah.
And I'm saying all this shit, but we have, and this is me plugging AEW, but it's also true. We got a lot of great young talent. I just wish sometimes they would just, fucking relax. You know, you're still in your 20s. You still have more of your career going forward. I don't here. I'm a little bit on the back end here. So relax, guys.
Absolutely.
Go bother Schiavone or something. He's fighting for at least an hour.
Yeah, please bother me. Actually, it's my job for you to bother me, unfortunately. So bother me.
Oh, dude. I don't know how you do. Schiavone, God bless. I don't know how you deal with it, with everybody. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Let alone me. You got other people that... Part of the deal, though. It's part of the business, man. I love it. I wouldn't trade this fucking shit for anything in the world. I was 13 years old staring out of my high school, Stepinac High School, I think it was. One of the first high schools I got kicked out of. And I was staring out the window at 13, 14 years old, daydreaming about doing the G1.
Wow.
Just because the night before I watched some type of one of the G1 matches. You know what I mean? And I always wanted to do this since I was 9 years old. I have nothing to fucking complain about. Nothing. I don't give a shit. And I get paid to do this.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Hard to beat.
When I first broke in, I wasn't even getting paid sometimes.
Right.
You know, and I still went out there and fucking went balls to the wall. You know what I mean? Now I get a good chunk of change and I get to help a company grow and try to have this place fucking kill it so that the next generation has 2 places to work, maybe 3, maybe 4. You know what I mean?
Want the business
One
to
thing
grow.
I learned from Terry Funk was leave it better than
You found it.
leave it better than when you broke in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if I can do that, then maybe I'll listen to people when they say I'm good. You know what I mean? But until then, leave me alone. I'm not that over. I need more. I need to be over more so we can get at least 1 million, 2 million people watching. That's when I'll tell you I'm over. I'll tell you I'm over when I can't walk through the airport. That's when I'll tell you that. Because I want attitude era numbers, man. I want that shit to come back.
Yeah.
I know people say it won't because of streaming, this and that. I don't give a fuck. People said I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I'm here, so let's get these people going. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's all I want. I love pro wrestling, man. I love sharing it. I love talking about it. I love bothering Schiavone, which blows my mind because I used to watch him when I was a kid. And now hearing the way he talks now, I can only imagine him busting Ric Flair's balls right before they come. And we're back to NWA TV. And we're here with the world champion, Ric Flair. Well, right before he's telling Flair, fuck you. Great shit.
Yeah. I love telling people to fuck off.
Oh, you do? And you love grabbing your dick for some reason.
Wow.
When he tells people that, he gets up, he's like, right here. Like a savage. Schiavone becomes an animal at work, man. He's a different animal at work.
That's not true. No.
Hey, Schiavone, what's up, you fuck? That's what I'll scream. Right here, Eddie, right here. Yeah. And I'm like, oh I said, someone didn't have his 8th energy drink of the day. You know what I mean? When he gets to the 8th one, that's when you know he's level.
Oh my God.
And then there's Brian Danielson judging everybody. Why do you drink that?
Yeah.
It's not vegan. Or whatever the fuck.
I told Brian one day, he said, how many energy drinks do you have a day? I said, 3. You have 3 energy drinks a day? I said, at TV, sometimes 4 or 5.
Yeah. He gets mad at Schiavone, but then he looks down the hallway. Every one of us are like, drinking at least fucking 7 or 8 of them while we wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah, years ago, they used to provide bangs for us backstage and coolers. That lasted about 1 week.
Yeah, because then everyone got fucking dehydrated before they had to wrestle in the Jacksonville sun.
Oh my.
During the pandemic. And then everyone's like, people are wondering why they're all fucked up after their matches more than usual. Or going right out before. They're like, oh, I'm dizzy. And our doctor's standing there going, how many bangs did you have today? How much water did you drink? Yeah. And us being wrestlers, a couple. I don't know. Something's wrong. Drink more water. We drink the water. I'm cramping up. Yeah. We drink water and we're fine after. But yeah, we're also not the smartest. In the Jacksonville heat, drinking fucking bangs all day. Thinking everything was going to be okay. My piss was green. That's how many bangs I drank. It was green.
Good news is we learned from that and moving forward.
You did.
Well, no, a lot of people did.
I drink at least 2 bangs before I get to the show to calm myself down. And I go through at least 4 cans of Zyn. So I can be like, all right, today is a good day. Don't let anything bother you. Only control what you can control. I have to give myself a fucking pencil before I get to work. I'm looking at myself in the mirror going, hey, don't do anything to ruin this. Pointing at me, don't do anything to, don't self-destruct. Control what you can control. Don't worry about it. Schiavone's a piece of shit. You know that.
Well established.
Yeah.
Hey, Conrad.
What?
It's our anniversary. Stop.
Oh, it is. It is.
Okay.
Happy anniversary, Tony. And, man, thank you so much for joining us today, Eddie. Who would have predicted 7 years later, we'd still be doing this podcast and we'd be hanging out with you and watching some All Japan. This was a blast today, man. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, man. Hey, I had fun. You know me. I always tell Sabato I'll do this all the time. I don't give a fuck. I love it. Love shooting this shit. Making fun of Tony, getting to see Lois, you know. All this good stuff. You know, talk about Nick Saban leaving. All that. Yeah, I know. Heartbreaking, ain't it? Good. Welcome to hell. Welcome to fucking hell. I've been waiting. I have a seat for you right here.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah. Back to reality.
I'm a Notre Dame fan. I'm fucked forever because they're not going to get anybody.
No.
Because you got to, you know, have good grades. Come on. I'm trying to win a football game, guys.
Yeah.
So welcome to hell. But yeah, anyway, happy anniversary. I'll see you Wednesday, Tony, at work.
Hey, you got it, buddy.
I'll give you a pep talk too, you son of a bitch.
I know you will.
Check us out, boys and girls. Pick up a shirt. It's Eddie's favorite, loisrules.com. And we'll see you guys next week right here on What Happened When with the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone.
Come back.
Anybody seen Eddie? We got a pre-tape. Where is he?
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.